Hello everybody, hola a todos mundo. Today I'm going to show how to export a model from Blender to DCS World, in this case a plane. And I'm going to be speaking in Spanish and in English at the same time because I want to spread how to make these things to English people and also Spanish people. Hoy voy a mostrar cómo exportar un modelo de Blender a DCS, en este caso un avión que tenía hecho anteriormente, y lo voy a hacer en inglés y en español, así que va a ser un poco pesado, pero espero que lo comprendáis para llegar a mayor número de personas. I have been creating planes for X-Plane for a long time, even on laminar research or by my own, selling the planes. He estado vendiendo aviones y haciendo aviones para X-Plane durante mucho tiempo, vendiéndolos, haciéndolos por mi cuenta o también haciéndolos para laminar research. And I've been a user of DCS World for a long time also, y he sido un usuario de DCS durante mucho tiempo. So I wanted to make something for DCS World, así que quería hacer algo para DCS World. So I started studying how to make this, and in the forums you can find how to export this and how to make this stuff into DCS World from Blender or from 3D Studio Max. Así que estuve estudiando cómo hacer todo esto desde los foros de DCS y descubrí que había unos plugins para 3D Studio Max y para Blender. The problem of 3D Studio Max is that I have an old version of 3D Studio Max and these plugins are not supported, so I have to switch back to Blender, that is free. Así como tenían el 3D Studio Max, era el que tengo es el modelo antiguo, el de 2011, pues no soportan el plugin y entonces por lo tanto tuve que pasar a Blender, que es gratuito, y así lo voy a mostrar. The first thing you have to do is to go to, first of all, download Blender, that in this case are newer ones than this one. I have the 2.8.3, but this is the one that is working. I don't know if the newer ones are working also, but in this case mine is working here in the 2.8.3. You download it and install it. I'm not going to show how to install it and download it. Tenéis que venir aquí a Blender y os vais a la 2.8.3, que es la página, que es la versión de Blender que funciona. No voy a mostraros cómo instalarlo, simplemente lo bajáis y lo instaláis. Once you have downloaded, you have to install the Blender ADM Exporter. Tenéis que venir aquí y una vez que lo habéis instalado, instalar esto de aquí, que será un zip que tenéis que descargar. Aquí os dicen las instrucciones. Here the instructions say how to install it, pero más o menos es así. You have to go to the Edit and Preferences, and here it's open a window that you choose add-ons. Vais aquí a Edit Preferences y elegís add-ons. Once you choose that, you say Install, and you install from the zip file. Once you've done it, it will be installed. Una vez que lo habéis instalado, desde el zip ya estará instalado. Lo único que tenéis que hacer es activarlo. Buscáis aquí EDM y esto no estará activo. Lo activáis y ya está. This won't be ticket, so you tick it and it will be active. Once you have it, then you have the exporter. Here it is exported. Export EDM. Ahí tenéis el exportador una vez que lo habéis instalado. This exporter in Blender, it's a bit complicated, more than the 3D Studio Max. Este plugin de exportador de Blender es más complicado que hacer las cosas que en 3D Studio Max. I'm going to open voy a abrir my file that I have been making. Este es mi avión, decía Marchetti, that is for Explain. Este modelo viene de Microsoft Flight Simulator. This model comes from Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the way the textures are done is the same way that the textures are done in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The channels of the PBR are the same, exactly the same. It's very easy to find how to make. Es muy sencillo de encontrar cómo hacer las texturas PBR en DCS. The only thing you have to look for is, lo único que tenéis que hacer es buscar esa información por aquí y os dirán los tipos de canales que tenéis que poner. It will say the channels that you have to use per each texture. Once you've done this, una vez que has hecho esto, we have the model here. In this case is the landing gear. I'm making the animation and I'm going to show you how to make this animation. Once you've done this, una vez que has hecho esto, veis aquí la animación y os voy a mostrar cómo se hace esta animación. To export, you have to export with an armature. It's important. Even if there is no animation in any model, even if it's not a plane or whatever, it has to have an armature. Si vosotros vais a exportar, da igual que tengáis o no tenga animación, tiene que tener una armadura, es decir, un esqueleto. An skeleton it has to have. This skeleton, as you will see here, it's only one skeleton, but it's part of different bones. Es una armadura solamente, es un esqueleto, pero que tiene varios huesos. Solamente es un esqueleto, que como veis aquí, tiene el nombre Armature. As you can see here, the name it's Armature. If you don't put this armature, it won't export. Si no ponéis esta armadura, no exportará. Y si ponéis más armaduras, otra más, no exportará tampoco. And if you put another one, it won't export. Only one armature. So you can create the children. Así que podéis vosotros crear los hijos de los huesos, the bones, children of the armature, whatever you want. Infinite if you want. Well, I don't know if it's infinite, but a good number of them. With a hierarchy. pero vosotros podéis crear jerarquías de huesos de padres e hijos dentro de ese padre inicial. En este caso este es el padre, el hueso grande. Once you have that, I have done this animation, not the right one that is going to be the one that we are going to see. This is the animation of 2020. Esta animación que aparece aquí es la animación de Microsoft Flight Simulator. No está bien animado y no se exporta. And as you can see here also there is only animation, but everything is animated. That is because there are different channels. Aquí nada más veis una animación, que en este caso, bueno, veis dos porque veis esta de aquí, pero veis una animación que es esta de aquí. Y eso es porque, aunque haya más, porque solamente Blender muestra un solo canal de salida. Blender exports channels of actions into the EDM. The Visor Viewer, you have to find it. If you go to this web page in this forum, the official forum, you can copy the lines here. Si vais aquí a esta página del foro de DCS oficial, veréis esta guía. You will see this guide, that is this one here. And if you go to the 7th page, you will see the plugin for the 3D Studio Max if you have the Max. But this is for, I think it's 2017, the first or 16, I don't know. Pero esta tenéis el plugin aquí del exportador para 3D Studio Max, que es la versión a partir de la versión 2.16. And then you will see the standalone model viewer that you press here. Que si presionáis aquí, you will have the link to the FTP to download the plugins or the model viewer. Aquí tendréis los FTPs para descargar el plugin o el Model Viewer. Model Viewer is for seeing the models that you have exported from Blender or 3D Studio Max directly without opening DCS. El Model Viewer es un programa para ver los modelos que se exportan directamente desde Blender o 3D Studio Max sin tener que abrir DCS. So, for example, if we export this model, así que por ejemplo, si nosotros exportamos este modelo, it will export only what is visible. Solamente exportará aquello que es visible. So, we have to export it. Export here, select, in this case I'm going to call caca, así que vamos a exportar, le llamamos caca porque así de esa manera lo borro después, es más fácil. And once, una vez que ha sido exportado, once it's exported, it will appear here and export EDM finished. Aquí dirá que ha exportado el EDM. De tal manera, so we go to the place that I wrote the EDM file, exported, así que voy al lugar donde exporté este EDM, and I have to have the textures that I already converted and have them here in DDS, y tengo aquí un directorio que automáticamente las coge, las texturas, que es de DS, con sus canales PBR, normal y roughness, que si yo, if I press double click over this, it's going to open the model viewer because I assign that type of file to the model viewer. Porque hice un linkaje de ese tipo de archivos EDM al model viewer, se abre automáticamente. So we have here the model and you can see the different animations y se pueden ver aquí los tipos diferentes de animación. En este caso, in this case, this is for spring of the landing gear, this is for deployment of the landing gear, one of the landing gears, this is for spring from the front landing gear, for steering, the landing gear, este es para el giro de la rueda, this is for deployment of the front landing gear, la salida de la rueda delantera, and there are other things like for example, this is the door. As you can see, it has different number channels. Tenemos aquí los alerones, ailerons, the elevators, the rudders, el timón de cola, the ailerons and the flaps here. Y los flaps aquí, diferentes números. Each number of these are assigned to a special number in DCS to be catch that animation. It's like variables. Estos números son asignados en DCS y son unos números determinados que luego tendré que ver, que todavía no sé muy bien, que se va viendo con otros modelos, identificando porque son siempre los mismos números. They are always the same number. For example, the flaps, maybe it is number 38. So if I change this in the exporter to 38, si por ejemplo los flaps son 38 en todos los aviones, si yo cambio el 38 en vez de 0, le cambio a 38, instead of 0, I put 38, not here in the exporter, no aquí, sino en el exportador. When I export, cuando exporto, then DCS is going to move those flaps, okay? I'm going to teach how to export this animation and how to make these animations. Así que voy a mostrar cómo exportar esas animaciones y cómo hacerlas. As said before, this is a model from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Como he dicho anteriormente, esto es un modelo que está hecho de Microsoft Flight Simulator que anteriormente está hecho de X-Plane. So, because I have that animation, the only thing I need is not the body, for now, not the central one, not the left one. I'm going to export the right one. Lo primero que tengo que hacer antes de usar esta parte que solamente oculta las demás porque no la necesito. For the purpose of this tutorial, I have installed this plugin for showing what I do in the middle, in the right. It sets if I'm pressing any key or whatever. For example, the N key, what it does is show this up or not, and that way you can stop the video and show what is happening. Bueno, para el propósito de este tutorial lo que he hecho es instalar un plugin para que veáis las presiones de lo que yo estoy haciendo, del ratón o del teclado, y así podéis pararlo el vídeo y ver exactamente qué es lo que estoy haciendo. Okay, we have this animation and we need first of all to remove the animation of this because this one is parented to the different ones. Because, for example, as you can see here with the page up, with page down, podéis ver con la página arriba, página abajo, podéis ver que están ligados como padre e hijo. And also is linked to dummies objects, empty objects. Están ligados también a dummies objects o objetos vacíos que se llaman aquí normalmente. That are not be able to export into Blender, que no son posibles de exportar a Blender, okay? So first of all we have to choose the position which we want to be the 0. Así que nosotros vamos a exportar la posición que nosotros queremos que sea el 0. In this case, I'm going to tell you it's 35, okay? The animation is until 40, animación es hasta 40, but in this case we want to have this one. Pero en este caso nosotros queremos obtener esta. So, the first thing, así que la primera cosa que nosotros queremos hacer es primeramente es desligar esto de los padres y los hijos. The first thing is I'm going to unparent this. So first of all we have to remove the animation. Así que lo primero que tenemos que hacer es remover la animación. For that we are going to enter this animation one. Para ello vamos a entrar en esta animación. En este entorno, and we are going to enter in this layout that is different for animation. Y vamos a entrar en este entorno que es diferente para la animación. So we have to set the position we want, así que vamos a introducir la posición que nosotros queremos, en este caso la 35, in this case the 35, and we are going to start removing the animation. Y ahí vamos a empezar a remover la animación. Here appears animation and set of animation of keyframes. Aquí aparecen animaciones y set de animaciones. This type of animations are what is called non-linear animation. Is this one. Estos son animaciones no lineales. That are like the way the video editors can interpolate between videos. Estos son como animaciones que se pueden interpolar como si fuesen fragmentos de vídeo. And these are necessary for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Y estos son necesarios para Microsoft Flight Simulator. But here in DCS they are not necessary at all. Pero aquí no son necesarios para DCS. So we are going to remove this one. The only thing we have to do, we could modify the keyframes here. If I press the tab, I could see the keyframes. Si presiono tab podríamos ver los keyframes. Okay, before removing the keyframes and the animation, what I'm going to do is duplicate this model. So we can see later the animation and we can replicate the animation in the new object. Vale, lo que vamos a hacer primeramente es replicar este objeto animado para cuando quite la animación no perderla y poder calcar esa animación al nuevo modelo de DCS. So we go again to layout, así que vamos de nuevo al layout, and we select the folder here, that is the layer, in this case is this one, y seleccionamos el layer que está aquí, right click, and duplicate collection. That way we have two of them. Le damos a duplicar colección y tenemos dos. We have two of them. Both of them are animated the same way. Los dos están animados de la misma manera. We check out that everything is right in the position where it should. Chequeamos que todo esté en la posición que debería estar. This is important because sometimes everything is messed up. Esto es muy importante porque muchas veces las cosas se fastidian. They are screwed and we have to be careful with everything we do. Tenemos que tener mucho cuidado con las cosas que hacemos. In fact, I have to do the work several times because I made a mistake and I didn't realize until sometime. De hecho, he tenido muchas veces que rehacer trabajo porque he fastidiado alguna cosa y no lo vi hasta pasado un tiempo. Okay, so we hide that and we hide this one, the new one. And we are going to remove the animation of the right one, but the original one, no the copy. Pero así voy a coger y voy a modificar esa animación de ese original R, no la copia. We go again to the animation, vamos de nuevo a la animación, and we start removing, picking from the each object, this one, and removing with delete and delete in every of them. Y voy cogiendo, señalando cada uno de ellos y borrando. In this case, also, this one has animation, as you can see. Aquí, como podéis ver, tiene animación también ese dummy. Lo voy a borrar. I'm going to remove it. Also this one, también este aquí. You can see here, we haven't got any non-linear animation. We have already the keyframes. If I would press this one pull-down button, it would transform this into non-linear animation and will appear the same. Si presionas aquí, aparecería como non-linear animation, pero nosotros solamente queremos borrar, but we only want to remove. We click here to remove every selected keyframe. Presionamos fuera para que deseleccione cualquiera de los keyframes, and we square it and delete it. And now we say delete keyframes y le decimos que borren los keyframes y ya está. And there it goes. Here there is nothing. Aquí no hay nada. Here we have non-linear animation. Remove. Aquí tenemos animación no lineal, aquí no tenemos nada, here we have anything, here no linear animation, remove, here no linear animation, remove, y aquí no linear animation y lo removemos. That way everything is fine and not animated. Now we can set it to the 0 to start putting keyframes. But we are not going to put keyframes. Ahora podemos ir al 0 y poner keyframes, pero no vamos a poner keyframes porque Blender para exportar a DCS no coge los objetos como keyframes, no pueden animar objetos. Blender to export to DCS cannot, Blender of course can, but not export to DCS, cannot animate objects. We have to animate the bones, the armatures, and link the bones with the objects. Tenemos que ligar los objetos con los huesos, y son los huesos los que son animados. And now, what we are going to do is, we have only one armature, as I said. We have to create new bones, tenemos que crear nuevos huesos de esta misma armadura, solamente la única que tenemos, and put them in the right place. Y tenemos que ponerlos en el lugar adecuado. First of all, we're going to choose this one. If I press the numpad period, the point 1, you will see that it's centered, the object. Here, we need to move, I'm not going to explain too much about Blender, this is the 3D cursor, and the 3D cursor is the place where things are started to be built or created. Aquí está el cursor 3D, y estos son los puntos donde se empiezan a crear objetos. Si yo crease una caja, if I will create a new box, the box will be created here. La nueva caja será creada aquí. But I need to create something here. So I select, necesito crear algo aquí, así que selecciono aquí y le digo a este cursor, and I say to this 3D cursor to move to this position. How I say that? With Shift S. Shift S appears this, aparece con Shift S, aparece esto, y le doy cursor to selected. And now the cursor is not here, but is here. El cursor está aquí. And now we'll be able to create anything here. So I'm going to create, voy a crear una nueva armadura, un nuevo esqueleto. Shift A, Armature, and appears a new skeleton that is a bone, but it's a skeleton 001. Going to put it smaller, 0.2. By the way, about the diameters, as you can see here is in meters. If I put this in 1 meter, this is 1 meter. If you compare, si ponemos esto en un metro, podemos comparar lo que es el cuerpo del avión, para que veáis lo que es un metro y lo que es el avión. Es un avión bastante pequeño, suele tener unos 7-8 metros. It has 7 or 8 meters. This has to be chosen here. In the unit setup, here, you see that it's metric and in scale of 1, in meters, kilograms, degrees. Ok, we select again, seleccionamos aquí esta vez el 2, vamos a ponerlo como tamaño 2, vemos que todo está bien, we check out that everything is correct, the left wing, for example, left landing gear, everything is fine, don't move, we have to check every time. Comprobamos que todo está bien, que todo está recto, we can remove the body, and we have to create the new bone. Hemos creado un nuevo armadura que compone solamente un hueso. But we said that if we export this one, we try to export this one. For example, we go to layout and export. Si nosotros tratamos de exportar esto, it will say, dirá que that it's only one armature. One and only one armature, not writing. Solamente podrá exportar un esqueleto, una armadura. Entonces, why we create this one? ¿Por qué creamos este hueso? We create this one because we want to align it with the already alignment of this object. Creamos esta armadura porque nosotros queremos alinear este objeto con esta armadura. How do we do that? ¿Cómo hacemos esto? Bueno, in Blender it's incredibly stupid how to align an object to another. En Blender es totalmente estúpido cómo alinear un objeto con respecto a otro. En 3D Studio Max es super easy. En 3D Studio Max es súper sencillo. But in Blender is super complicated. Es muy complicado en Blender. So to make this easy, hacer esta cosa más fácil, we have to go to here, Preferences, and here in the add-ons, y aquí en add-ons, we select the Align Tools. Seleccionamos el Align Tools, que estará deseleccionado y viene por defecto. That it will be unchecked and it's by default. So we press that one. And here in the item, you will see the Align Tools here, and you can develop and show all this stuff, ¿ok? Lo muestras, lo pones aquí en item, que si no tenéis es con la N, y lo veréis aquí, Align Tool, y lo desplegáis, lo tenéis. The way to align is simple. Press first the object you want to align. Seleccionas primero el objeto que quieres alinear. The second, the object that is going to be aligned. El segundo, el objeto al que va a ser alineado. And you press here Align Lock in rotation. Anything changed because the alignment of this object was already the same as this one. No ha pasado nada porque ya estaba alineado de por sí. El eje era igual, los ejes son iguales y por lo tanto no ha cambiado nada. Now we have to really create a bone here that comes not from the Armature 001. No, tenemos que crear un hueso, pero no de este, sino de este, del Armature, de este tenemos que crear. Para ello, for that, we go into Edit Mode, tab, press over here, and with A set, we create a new one. Now in edit mode, we can move it, but it's going to move everything, ¿ok? Aquí si lo muevo y se lo señalo en edit mode, va a moverse todo. The way to unlink it, el modo de deslinkarlo, es dándole aquí, is pressing here and pressing here, ¿ok? If not, in relations. And now I can move it. La manera de desligarlo es presionáis aquí en de forma y en conectar. And now it's away. But it's part of the same armature, pero es parte de la misma armadura. And now we are going to select in edit mode still this part. Go Shift S and put selection to cursor. Now, tab, press this one. Ahora presionamos tabulador, presionamos aquí, en edit mode, and we say cursor 3D to selected. Tab, again, press here, tabulador, here, and here, selection to cursor. And now we have two bones in the same place. Tenemos dos huesos en el mismo lugar. If we select here, we have the armature one, but if we select in the object mode here twice, we have the armature here, 0, 1. That is the object that we created. Tenemos la armadura 0, 1. And this is the one that we are going to remove. So we remove it. Y esta es la que vamos a mover. And now we have the new bone. Y ahora tenemos el nuevo hueso con la armadura. Solamente una armadura. And only one armature with the new bone. In the right place. Y ahora tenemos el hueso en el mismo lugar. En el punto correcto colocado. Vamos a crear los huesos que sean del despliegue del landing gear. We are going to create the bones from the deployment of the landing gear. This is the one, first of all, this object, because this is not child of anyone. Porque no es hijo de ninguno, we could create this bone. Nosotros podemos crear este bone. Pero tenemos que desligar del padre, o from the hierarchy, we have to unlink from the hierarchy, tenemos que desligar de sus padres cada uno de estos objetos, que si veis, con página arriba, página abajo, with page up, page down, it's selecting each of the objects, okay? This is not one, but we're going to select with Alt-P, keep transformation, Alt-P, keep transformation, Alt-P, keep transformation, Alt-P, clear and keep transformation, Alt-P, clear transformation, this one, P, clear transformation, limpiamos todas las transformaciones con Alt-P, Alt-P, transformation, transformation, key transformation, this one, este de aquí, transformation, and this one, key transformation, and this one, y este de aquí, transformation. Now we have everything that is not linked together. We can see moving around any of them. Ahora podemos ver que ninguno tiene sus padres ni nada. Vale. Entonces, we are going to create this new one. For that purpose, para este propósito, where we are selected is already aligned with the axis. So, así está alineado perfectamente. We are going to press Shift S to carry the cursor there, para llevar el cursor allí. Shift A to create a new armature. Creamos una nueva armadura that is different, again, que es diferente a esta de aquí. So, it won't export correctly, but allow us to align. Pero nos permitirá alinear. So, in this case, we select the first, the one object that we want to align. Primero seleccionamos el objeto que queremos alinear. The second, the one that we want to align to. El segundo objeto que queremos alinear hacia el donde. And we press here the... And in this case, it's the same. As you can see here, both are the same. So now we create the object, the bone from the armature. But we are not going to choose this one. Nosotros no vamos a elegir esta vez este de aquí. We are going to create it from the parent. So this one. So we extrude, insert, and select it. Seleccionamos, deformamos, conectamos, and now we can move it. And ahora tenemos que llevar esto aquí. Shift S, tab, select, tab, S. There, Shift A, there, and select the armature one to remove it, delete. Now we have only one of them in the same armature, the same way we have it here. Tenemos una sola armadura ahora, no dos. In pose mode, we see that everything is linked together. Podemos ver que todo está ligado completamente. But if we select the parent, pero si seleccionamos el padre y rotamos, rota con respecto solamente a sus hijos. Este es el abuelo de todos. This is the grandfather of everything. So here we have everything and it's aligned already. It was not necessary to be aligned because it was the same alignment that it has already with the new bone created. No hacía falta alinear casi porque estaban alineados. But in this case we are going to need it. Pero en este caso vamos a necesitarlo. Vamos a ponernos, we're going to put in object mode, selected, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A new armature. It's going to be a small one, 0, 1, okay, perfect. And va a ser solamente 0, 1. Going to select the align, the object to align, el objeto a alinear, and you can see here it changed with this object, so it's necessary. Now both of them has the same axis. Ahora tienen los dos los mismos ejes. And now we have to do the same. Create a new bone, tenemos que hacer lo mismo, crear un nuevo hueso de la armadura para tener solamente una nueva armadura, porque tenemos dos ahora, ¿vale? Este es el 0,1 y el 1. In this case, we're going to create it from here because this part is linked in the wing of the... Esta parte de la compuerta está ligado aquí, no está ligado a la parte de landing gear. So, we tap, extrude, set. I don't know why it don't appear here, the set. No sé por qué no aparece la Z, pero yo la presiono. Ok. And now, deform and move. Move it, move it. We have the same armature, tenemos la misma armadura, and we seleccionamos esta parte de aquí y le damos a select, going to an object, ¿vale? It's huge, es grande, so we are going to go here to see, select this one, seleccionamos el otro, the new aligned, seleccionamos aquí, see first, the new cursor here, and here, okay, cursor to selected, and now we have created the new bone of the one armature, the original armature, in the same position. Okay, select the second armature, is here, and we can remove it. Okay, and we can remove also this dummy here. Ahora tenemos, en este caso, que este hueso no se mueve con esto. It don't moves with this one. Just move with this one, as it has to be. Usually, normalmente, the type of alignment that it makes this one of alignment tools, este tipo de alineamiento que forman estos huesos poniéndolo cada dos puntos del hueso, el origen y el final, the origin and the end of the bone, with the near armature that it was aligned before, con el nuevo armadura que fue alineado antes, is 99% right. But there are some times that are not, pero hay otras ocasiones que no. And this is very complicated to align them correctly. Y esto es mucho complicado para alinear. Y os voy a mostrar cómo se hace. And I'm going to show you how it has to be done. Okay. Here we have another object that is part, aquí tenemos otro objeto que es parte de ese despliegue. It's part of this deployment. Este está ligado aquí, here, not in the root of this one, because it's not going to move. It's going to move in two directions, okay? Here you can not see move it, aquí no podéis verlo mover, pero si ponemos, if we put the other, I remove the one that I'm creating, you will see, veréis cómo se mueve y rota. Pues tiene que tener dos hijos. Así que, como la otra vez, first of all, we carry the cursor, 3D cursor to the place, Armature, in this case it's going to be 2, okay, and we are going to align it, vamos a alinearlo. And it's aligned already, the same, okay, no problem. Now we are going to create, ahora vamos a crear, again, the same way we did it before, y set, remove the formation, remove the connected, move it, and carry to selected, up, cursor selected, cursor to selected, and you could say, y podríamos decir, that is already done, and we could remove the last one, the another armature. No, it's not right. Okay, I'm going to select the armature, I'm going to create it, and as you can see here, como podéis ver, está desalineado. It's not right. The points, los puntos, están bien, but it's rotated to one side. This is the one that is correct, and this is the new one that is from the armature that is not correct. Y este es el que tenemos que coinciden con los puntos de inicio final, pero que no está bien rotado. How we do it? Of course, nosotros podíamos rotar, we could rotate this bone to match more or less the same position, but we want to be precise. Pero nosotros queremos ser precisos, podíamos rotarlo y ponerlo más o menos en la misma posición, sobre el eje longitudinal del hueso, podíamos rotarlo. How is this done? ¿Cómo se hace esto? It's a little bit complicated, but it can be done. Again, Blender and its marvelous alignment tools. Otra vez, Blender y sus maravillosas herramientas que no existen. Okay, we select first of all the first bone that we want to align. Primeramente seleccionamos el hueso que queremos alinear. Then the bone that we want to align to, that is this one, que es este de aquí. We go to the pose mode. Select nothing and select first of all again the bone that we want to align, the one that we want to align to. Luego pasamos al pose mode, seleccionamos primeramente el hueso que queremos alinear y el hueso al que queremos alinear. And we go to edit mode. And again, select first of all the bone that we want to align to the bone that we want to align to. And with Shift N, we make active bone. And now they both are aligned. It's complicated, it's not easy, but it's the way it's done. Now, we can go to this mode, select this armature and remove it. Already it's aligned, correctly aligned, and it's part of only one armature. And this is only children of this one, because we created from here. We are going to create another armature here in the same position, the same orientation. Again, select, Shift S, Shift A, armature. This case, en este caso, vamos a crearlo más pequeño, smaller, to differentiate, to make difference, para ser diferente y poderlo seleccionar luego más fácilmente. Okay? And now alignment. Select alignment, and this correctly aligned. Now we are going to create another bone, but this time it's not going to be from here, but from here. So we select here, extrude, set, create a bone, select it, the form, connect it, and we can move it. Select this one, seleccionamos, cursor to selected, cursor to selected cursor. And happens again the same. Y pasa otra vez lo mismo. Desalineado. I don't know why in this case. No sé por qué, pero en este caso también sucede. El 99% de las veces no sucede esto, pero si sucede tenéis que tener un ojo. Ok, again, select this one, go to pose mode, and click outside to select anything because it could be another one bone selected. Presionamos fuera porque puede haber otro hueso que esté seleccionado. Select the first one, the one that we want to align. Primero el hueso que queremos alinear. Second to the bone that we are going to align to. Segundo el segundo hueso que queremos alinear. Edit mode. Click outside. First the bone that we want to align. Primero el hueso que queremos seleccionar. Second to the bone to the one to align to. Shift N. Active bone. Already created. Go to edit mode. Select, there are two bones here, armature 01, we have to select it, remove. Done. Now we have here in pose mode, we can see rotation, this is the parent, this is the child. Everything is here, everything is good. Now the rest of the bones. I'm going to make it, not speaking, you can see how it's done. They are going to be correctly aligned. Vamos a crear el resto de huesos, no voy a hablar, simplemente lo podéis ver aquí, lo que voy haciendo, para que vosotros lo veáis, ¿de acuerdo? Okay, this is one is aligned with this one, so we create from this one because this object is aligned to this one. So this object is this bone is aligned with this one. So we create from this one. Creamos desde porque ese está alineado hacia otro. Red. Zero, 1, remove. Test it. Testeamos. This one. Yes. Okay. 2. This is going to be child of this one. So create this one. A set. Accion. Sí, nosotros no vemos tanto. Okay. Going to see if I can select it. Armature 01, remove. This one. Armature, Lightman. This one is child of this one. Este es hijo de este de aquí. Seleccionar. Seleccionar. Edit. Form. This one. Move. Cursor. Cursor to selected. Selecting the cursor. Remove Armature. Choose one, move it. Now we have, ahora tenemos todos como debería ser. Pose mode, es como se animan. Pose mode is the way they move. Okay, perfect. Okay, now this one. Pulsas. S. Selected. Okay, Armature. One. Pavement. This is child from this one. Este es hijo de este. Tanto es hijo de este. Stude. Here. Disconnect. It's better to put them very close. Es mucho mejor ponerlos cerca. Because if not, it's going to create a big bone. Porque si no va a crear un hueso muy grande. Y no vais a ver nada. Yeah, and you're not going to be able to see anything. This one. This one. This one. And now remove. Armature. Okay. Done. Okay, and finally, y finalmente, este de aquí. This one. Sure. This one, little one. Este más pequeño. See it. Puedo verlo. Okay. Some of the same. And this is, este es de this one. So, okay. Form, bone. One. Here. Okay. One to the armature. Okay, perfect. And now remove. Armature. That's one. Okay, we have to create everything. We ensure that we have the armature. It's armature. Sometimes it renames, so it's better to check out several times. Even with edit mode, see if there is another one behind, below. Mejor chequear que está ahí. So we have created everything, okay? It's moved the way it should be. Se mueve como debería ser. Now we have to link the objects to that bones because we can animate the bones, but they are not going to carry the objects. Ahora tenemos que linkar los huesos a esos para ser los padres, to be the parents of these bones. The first thing, lo primero, seleccionamos el objeto. First the object, then the armature. But as you can see, después la armadura. Pero como veis, selecciona todo. How we can select to only one bone of the armature? We have to go. ¿Cómo seleccionamos solamente un hueso de la armadura? In pose mode. Press outside because as you can see here, there is an object already selected. We select this one, then we're going to select this one and this one. These are going to be parent of both, which is going to be a mess. Click outside. Now it's deselected. And now click here. You can see here we cannot select another object. We can only select objects. That is the reason because we have to select first the object. Como veis, no podemos seleccionar otros objetos cuando le pulsamos. Por eso tenemos que seleccionar primero el objeto, luego la armadura y luego poner el pose mode. Si no, no podréis. ¿De acuerdo? Okay. And now with Control P and bone relative, it's going to make it. That way, when we rotate it, we go to object mode to deselect the object, because if not, it's not going to be deselected. Si no vais a object mode y pincháis fuera, no vais a deseleccionarlo. Here with the mode and the pose mode, we can see it's carrying the object. Podéis ver que está llevando el objeto. And we are going to do the same with the rest of the bones. Vamos a hacer lo mismo con el resto de huesos. Lo vais a ver cómo lo hago sin explicarlo mucho. This one. Okay. Okay, in this case I'm going to select both of the objects at the same time because both are going to be parent of the same bone. I could join both objects, but I prefer, I don't know why. Ah, yes, I made it that way because it's a puncture. Voy a unir los dos objetos, voy a seleccionar los dos objetos y los separé porque uno de ellos tiene una rueda pinchada, por lo tanto es un objeto distinto. Okay, select first of all the first one, second the second one, and finally the bone. Because I cannot see the bone, finally the armature. We can select whatever armature we want. This one, for example. Okay. Here we select it. But podemos seleccionar cualquiera, pero al pasar al pose mode, al pasar al pose mode, tenemos que seleccionar este. Ya no tenemos que seleccionar ninguno. Pues ahora sí. Now, yes, we have to select that one. And it's already selected. Now, this one. This one is going to be this one. Pose. But it's going to be the little one, the child. Pero va a ser el hijo el que va a ser seleccionado como padre de este. So that way we can rotate the parent and the child. And I think it's already done. Creo que ya está todo. Yes, it's already done. Now it's time for animation. But first of all, we're going to check out that everything is right. Okay, it's very important. Vamos a chequear que todo está bien. Todo está en su lugar y todo está como debería. Because it's easy to screw. Porque es muy fácil fastidiarla. Así que todo está bien. Okay, now can remove the body, the central, and I'm going to check out that the animation or the animation, the other landing gear that is seen here are in the same position. And we are going to copy the animation. Vamos a copiar las animaciones. First of all, we have to put actions for animation. So we're going to put in the animation layout. Vamos a pasar al modo de animación. That is the way to make animation, que es el modo de hacer animaciones. En esta rueda, in this landing gear, we are not going to animate the rotation of the landing gear. For now, not because I don't want to. I still need to learn things about DCS, how to implement things, and I just want to make simpler possible. Ahora no voy a hacer la animación de la rotación de la rueda en sí, sino la de despliegue de la rueda y la de presión de la rueda. I'm going to make the pressure and the deployment of the landing gear. So, there are two animations with several bones. Hay dos animaciones con varios huesos que tienen que ser animados para la misma acción, para esas dos acciones. For those two actions, there are several bones that need to be animated. Actions here, if you don't see here, this EDM, it's here in this part, okay? Check it here, I don't remember if pressing this like this, and it will appear in this part of the EDM exported, okay? Si no veis a esto aquí, tenéis que presionarlo, aparece en la línea de barras de keyframes, se presiona por aquí, me parece que era, y aparece esto así. Bueno, if we don't have anyone, we are going to make one and that's alright, ¿ok? Si no tenemos ninguna acción, que se llaman acciones lo que hay aquí, entonces creamos una nueva. Pero si tenemos una, en este caso es esta de aquí, in this case I'm going to select this one. This is the left landing gear deploy animation. Esta es la acción left landing gear deploy animation. We are going to copy it. And something changed here, the shield disappear, aquí desaparece el escudo, but it appears with a different name, 001, aparece con número 001. We are going to remove that 001 and the point, and we're going to change it to another name. We could remove everything, podríamos cambiar todo, pero change this to right landing gear deploy, and press intro. And then I click over here, the new one, presiono sobre el nuevo y le presiono esto de aquí. This is the name of the users, fake users, so it's creating fake users. I don't know why is this, está creando usuarios fake, que son falsos. Pero no sé por qué es, pero funciona. Pulsarlo ahí. Entonces, aquí tenemos la nueva animación. We have the new animation that if we animate, we will see that still this is moving. Como veis aquí solamente se mueve este. Las animaciones, aunque haya distintas, en Blender solamente va a mostrar una acción. In Blender is going to show one animation only. I don't know how to make all these animations show at the same time. So, así que vamos a mostrar este de aquí. But as is a copy of it, if I press here, it will say if it has keyframes this one. In this case, it doesn't have. If I press this one, these are the cases of all the armature, all the bones that are around. If I press this one, you see it has this bone, the 20, it has this animation. But this one, pero este de aquí, no tiene animación. Esto es como una especie de ver las animaciones de todos los padres. We're going to remove all this animation. Select this one, okay? Press here to remove all the keyframes. Remark, square all of them, and press remove from here. And here disappears the name given. Y desaparece el nombre dado de la acción. If we move, we don't see any animation. We have to only go to the one that copied. Si movemos, no se mueve, no hay ninguna animación. Vamos, volvemos a de nuevo. En pose mode estamos todo el rato. In pose mode, every time we go to the bone that we copied the action and we select the action here. In this case, it's SF I have a lot of actions because they were created for a Microsoft Flight Simulator. I have to remove them and clean them. That is the reason I'm giving the same name at the beginning SF to remove them clearly later. Estoy quitando las animaciones, estoy poniendo el SF 260 para luego remover las antiguas que son de Microsoft Flight Simulator, etcétera, etcétera. Así me resulta más fácil. Left, y está, and deploy. And now you can see the animation. Y ahora puedes ver la animación. We're going here and still see the animation. But we want to choose the new one that we have created. In this case, queremos seleccionar la nueva que hemos seleccionado. En este caso es el right here deploy. And now anything is moving. Nothing is moving. We have to go. Tenemos que coger y sacar este de aquí, el copia. The deployment is from 0 to 20. El despliegue es desde 0 hasta 20. We're going to put in 20 and selecting this one in pose y seleccionando ese hueso en pose le damos a la I. We press I and we select rotation. And if we go to item, we will see that there is an insertion of a keyframe. Y si vamos a la item, que se accede con la N, como ya sabéis, se verá esto amarillo que se ha puesto un keyframe dándole la I. Esa es la keyframe de rotación. And now, to mimic the animation, y ahora para imitar la animación, vamos al 0, we go to the 0, and we have to rotate this in the set. I'm going to put it here, and it's going to be difficult to see. Try rotation R set and start to move until it's more or less the same position. Here it is, more or less. Now we zoom it and R set, and that's right. Y lo movemos y lo ponemos más o menos en la posición y luego nos acercamos y vemos que los dos coinciden porque están compartiendo geometría. Por eso he sacado la otra geometría para imitarla. That is the reason I doubled the geometry to mimic the animation. If you have seen when I was moving, I wasn't pressing I and the keyframe was created. I think, como habéis visto antes, he movido y se ha creado automáticamente el keyframe. Si vosotros veis aquí en Preferences, if you go to Preferences, I think, I don't remember, creo que aquí en Auto Keyframe tenéis esto. So warning or whatever, os pondrá la animación por defecto. Así que nosotros tenemos que darle ahora otra vez por si acaso. In any case, I press rotation. In the next place, and there are animations created also for location and scale, and I don't want that. And as you see here, they are green because it's saying that there is another keyframe, that are the yellow ones, that is created. I'm going to remove this. Put over here, turn the location, right mouse, delete keyframes. Right mouse, delete keyframes, and only is going to be the rotation. And now they are gray because there are no other. So we save. And select the keyframes, selected, okay? And right button, interpolation, linear. And now it's linear because now it's going to be the Bezier. Now it's lineal y por lo tanto mejor porque si no sería Bezier. And we have created this interpolation. No, ahora hemos creado esta animación. We're going to the next one. Go to the 20, vamos al 20. Y el siguiente es este de aquí. Next one is this one for deployment. And we creamos una keyframe de rotación, una keyframe with rotation with the eye. And we go and rotate in Z again, rotate Z. To mimic more or less. It's difficult to see, but we have to mimic more or less the same object. Okay, it don't have to be perfect, no tiene que ser perfecto. In this case, en este caso. Okay, and now remove the keyframes that are created because it's moving. Auto keyframe. Okay, and again, interpolation, linear. Now, this one, the door. Rotation, keyframe, this case is the Y, or Y, or Y. This type is a little more touchy. Este es un poquito más sensible. More or less. I, rotation, remove the keyframe from location and from scale. And the same. Interpolation, linear. Now this one, here is the eye rotation, and here it is in set, rotation set. As you can see here, it's different because it's not perfectly aligned. I don't know why, but we rotate in Y to mimic more or less. Okay, this is not has to be perfect because these animations are very difficult to see the mistakes. Okay. Son difíciles de ver esos fallos, entonces no tiene que ser perfecto. But in rotation, in this case, DCS can animate different XY axes. En este caso, en DCS se puede animar distintos ejes en rotación, por ejemplo, y cosa que no pasa en otros simuladores. That doesn't happen in other simulators. So we put again interpolation, linear, or less. For now, You don't have to be perfect, okay? And the last one is this one, that is the more complicated one. Y el último es este, que es un poco el más complicado. For that, first of all, este es traslación. So instead of rotation, we put location. And here it is in the 14, it's the same position. Sorry, here, location. And here, with more or less the same position. Okay, location, and we remove now the rotation and the scale. And the same position for this one. No, not the same position because it's a little. Okay, and remove the rotation and scale. And make the linear one. Interpolation linear. Okay, and this one that is going to be the rotation. Rotation, rotate in Z. This is going to be much later with better animation. Rotation, so remove the keyframes, and finally R set. Rotation, remove location, remove scale, and interpolate. Linear. Perfect. Now it's animated. All the animation of the action of deployment are done. Now we are going to make the animation of press, the spring. So for that purpose, we select, for example, this one, and I'm going to select it as the left gear press. Here's the animation. We duplicate it, go here, remove the left and substitute by right. Right. Put it again. Put it here. Remove this animation. Okay, and substitute with the new one. Another important thing. As you can see here, if we select the animation in this animation here, it has a number. Una cosa muy importante. Este tiene una animación. Esta es la que va a exportar. Este es el canal de exportación. This is the channel export. So here we are saying that is the number 8 that is the same as this one, the left one, but we want to change. Estamos diciendo que tiene el canal 8 de exportación, pero queremos que sea diferente, que sea distinto. Entonces vamos a ponerle 9. Wait a moment. No, we have to select first of all the deployment. In this case, right, deployment. That's right. This is the one. Okay. And here we say the 7. We're going to put 9. Okay. And with the press, we select it, and we select here 10. And we press it, okay? And now when exported, cuando se exporte va a tener ese canal, para que aparezca en EDM para animarlo, distinto. Si no, va a tener el mismo y se va a animar de igual manera todo, con el mismo acción. If not, it's going to be animated with the same action, several things, and we don't want that. So, we have the right landing gear press, and it's from 20. Going to put it, voy a ponerlo en el lateral, for that reason we press it here, and with shift and the middle mouse button we can pan. We go to the 35, this is the same position that the relax one, vamos al 35 que es el punto que cogimos de relax, and we create a rotation animation. Then we go to the 20, that is the most spring. Vamos al 20 que es el que está totalmente fuera de presión, la rueda. And we rotate it in X, I think, and we match more or less the same position. Or X, that's right. Rotation and remove the location and the scale. Frames as before, and finally for the 40 is the more press compress animation position, último 40, que es la posición más de presión. X, that's right, rotation, remove posición y rotación. Ahí está. And now we create this as interpolation model linear y ponemos como interpolación lineal. The next one, y ahora el siguiente. We put it here. Here, 35, it's the same position, es la misma posición, rotación, un compress, totalmente descomprimido, y rotación X, digamos, X, y rotación, quitamos, remove from the location, and totally compressed and totalmente comprimido. RX. Okay. And we match los vértices de los dos objetos. We match the object of both X. There already they were. Okay. Rotation. Remove location. Remove scale. Here the right has to be 10. Okay. Make linear. And the final one is this one. Put it again. Lo ponemos otra vez. Aquí. Y esta es traslación. This is translation. So 35 the same. This case location. En este caso la posición. Totalmente uncompressed. Totally uncompressed. This one is J. Y. Remove, in this case, borramos el de rotación y el de escala y total compressed. And remove rotation and scale. Make it linear. Y lo hacemos linear. Ok. Done in this case. Creo que todo está hecho. Vamos a comprobar las acciones. Esta es 10, como podemos comprobar. 10. Esta es 10. 10. This is action 10. Action 10. We can remove the right copy. Action 10. Action 10. If we go to the right gear deploy, and it's 9. Perfect. Action 9. Action 9. Perfect. If we go to the left, it should be another one. Left deploy should be 7. And if we go to the, I think this is the press left, is the 8. Perfect. Now we have done the animations. We're going to put the landing gear, right gear deploy. Now we have to make, ahora tenemos que hacer, because we have mimic the animation but it's not good. Nosotros hemos imitado la animación que teníamos, pero no, eso no es bueno. Tenemos que ponerla como esta de aquí. We have to put like the left one. As you can see here, the left one is from 0 to 100 is not selected. We have to select it to see it. Tenemos que seleccionarla para verlo. Como veis, está seleccionada de 0 a 100, ¿de acuerdo? So, así que vamos a hacerlo. We are going to make it. So, we make it the deployment, and in this case, it's first of all down and then go up. Está primeramente abajo, desplegada, y luego tiene que ir hacia arriba. Y en el caso de esta animación, está al revés. Entonces, ¿cómo lo cambiamos? How we change it? You can see it's first of all up and then down. How we change it? Moving the keyframes. First of all, this is the first one, and this is the second one, and this is the third one, and this is the last one. So we're going to move them. First of all, this one here, this one here, and this one to the 100. Okay, and this one to the 0. Very easy. Then this is going to be, este va a estar al 25, this to the 25, and this to the 50, y este al 50. And now we are going to start to match the animation. Y ahora vamos a empezar a hacer las animaciones correctamente. This is not going to make any difference, okay? This is the same, it's linear, and I don't want to be accelerating or decelerating, okay? Vamos a hacer esta como está, tal cual. Then, luego, esta de aquí y esta de aquí son las rotaciones y las traslaciones. Vamos a ver cómo. We're going to see this one, this rotation and translation. This one, we have to put in the 25 a keyframe to match correctly the position, okay? So, in this case, I'm going to rotate in Z, sorry, and put it like that. Like that. And remove the location and scale. And in this case here, rotation in Z is going to be more or less like that. You have to be perfect. And rotation. And here a little more Z. Okay, press the rotation, delete. Okay, now the 15. This direction, it doesn't matter if it's inside because you are not going to see it. No pasa nada si se mete, no se va a ver. Y rotation, rotation. Remove the location Move the location, move the location, and this is saying me that there is another keyframe. Oh, this is one that we're going to remove. Delete keyframes. Okay. Remove the location. Remove the scale. 25, 50. We could create more. If we need more, we create more. So in this case, if there is nothing good here, we can create it. For example, set, and we put it like this. And I rotation, remove the location, remove the scale. Okay. Doesn't matter, it joins both objects together because it's not going to be seen. No pasa nada, se va a ver en este caso. Luego we can create better animations. I'm trying just to animate to make things faster, to see if I can have this decay. Lo que estoy tratando de hacer es obtener animaciones rápidamente para ver si puedo obtener el SDK. O sea, no estoy pretendiendo hacer algo perfecto. And for this one, I think it's already done. I'm going to animate this one to this direction. Location, remove rotation, remove rotation, remove scale. Okay, and this one going to see with the body. So this is okay, I think. It's from 0 to 10. Perfect. And we're going to put in the 50 to match it. Our set. Better. I rotation, remove location. Remove location here. There are more keyframes. I must al final. Remove location, remove. Okay, scale. So we see if we need another one, 25. R X is 1. I rotation, remove these ones, and for this one I'm going to animate the Y a little more to be near the center of this. So I rotation, remove location, remove scale. Check out if everything is good. Seems that it's good for me. Yes. Okay. Going to select these ones, make interpolation linear in case there is something that is not good, and also for these new created ones, linear, these new created ones, linear, and these new created ones, linear. And now everything is animated, and now it's time to export. Okay, seems that everything is good. We can hide the right one. It's already to move it on scene, and we can export it. And if we export it, it won't show anything. Well, first of all, I have to put the front. Okay, if we export it, we won't see anything at all. Why? Because we need to tell them those objects that are renderable by the DCS. Okay, so first of all, we are going to select the objects. I'm going to go to the layout, okay, to show it better, and select the objects. And you can see here, first of all, it has to have only one material, not multiple materials. Here's the wing, and here in the Microsoft material, well, standard, this is the for Microsoft material. Here is in the texture maps here, you have to say the name of the materials already. Como podéis ver aquí, nosotros tenemos esta wing, que tenemos aquí esto. Tenemos seleccionado este material, solamente tiene que ser un material, only have to be one selected material. And if you go here, you will see here that in EDM, en EDM, we have none. We have to select RenderNode. Tenemos que seleccionar RenderNode. Once we have RenderNode, we have to be sure this match with the name of the textures we have. In this case, for example, wing without the DDS, okay? Norm and rough met. That way, we will be able to export that. We're going to try to export it. For example, it's going to appear only this one. Export this one. Okay. And here says something that it was carrying me mad. Aquí aparece algo que me volvió loco. Y es que this is not a very quad mess. Will not export it. No se exportará. And I was thinking, but what is happening here? Because this is a quad mess. This is good. No problem. This mess, even if I export to FSS 2020, there is no problem. Si lo exporto al 2020 no hay problema. Entonces, no se exporta. It won't export. How I fix that? I go here, I go add modifier and triangulize. And when triangulize, it will triangulize everything. But to not triangulize everything, triangulará todo. Pero para no triangulizar, lo que le doy es al siguiente punto. Y entonces solamente triangulizará algunas. Only will triangle some of them. So it will modify the mesh. Modificará la malla, but it will modify anything of the texture or anything. Once it's done that, then it's possible to export it. Export. And now it's exported. And now we can check out that it's exported. It's there. We are going to see if it's animated with these animations. If it's good. It's good. But only separating this parameter that we set to it that it was going to be animated. Only one, the one that it was animated. So we have to say the same to the other ones. We're going to export, make this one. Vamos a hacer este como EDM render node and check out that it's landing gear. In this case, en este caso es la textura del landing gear, no del wing. Same. Okay. Same. Same. We can remove this dummy. Okay. And this also, these two dummies that were here from the beginning. Podemos remover esos dummies que habían ahí. Vale. Check out this one. Node and render node. Okay, now we can export and we will find the same problem that we received before of the triangulize or quad the object. You see here, hydraulica 01, hydraulica 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydraulicas. So we have to check out the hydraulica. Here it is one. So you can see here as I convert them to be triangulize and I apply 4. Apply. No, it was a hydraulic. Triangulize. Apply. Triangulate. Apply. Triangulate. Apply. Triangulate. Apply. Right suspension, yes. So this one. We don't have to apply to everyone. No tenemos que aplicar a todos. Son los que están chungos, están mal. Right wheel. Triangulate. Apply. Okay, pienso que ya están todos. I think they're ready. Now it's time to export. See if everything is right. Export. Okay, that's right. Okay. Here we have the arguments. Let's see if they are right. First of all, the landing gear to be deployed has to be unpressed, completely unpressed. So we check out that the animation is right. Okay. So that's right. And we deploy or retract. Perfect. This is as you can see, it's not correct because it's not totally. Wait a moment. Not totally. That's right. That's right. It was before. This was previous ones already done, but I have to check out everything is right. Then the front landing gear that is more complicated than this. If this was taken, si este tomó mucho tiempo, no veis el landing gear delante, because it has steer also, as this is the one to steer right or left. Para hacer un steer a la derecha o a la izquierda. And also the deployment, and also the, no, this is not, the compress, también el compress. Vale. Check out the rest of the elements. Okay, 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 perfect. Now, of course, it would take me to export the cockpit, but I'm not going to do that because I want to check out if the plane moves correctly, exporting even with no propeller, because I want to incorporate this stuff into DCS world. And check out the environment, different environments, to see the. So here is the animation, here's the in Model Viewer, but we need to see in DCS. Of course, first of all, we have to do is save this one and make a double copy, because things can be mess. Screw. Check out that everything is right. It's in the center. Okay. And one important thing, if you check out the EDM, you will see how here in the camera, in the front, you will see is the back. So we need to turn 180 degrees to the other side to make it right. Okay. So how we do that? Well, first of all, we have to put like an animation. Okay. And that animation, I'm not going to save it because I have to test it right. It has to be done in the right one, in this one. Okay. And we rotate Y and move it in 180 and press the rotation, because if not, it's not going to be exported, deleting keyframes. So I export and it will load it. Now we can see that is on the front. It has changed the direction. Here we have it. But of course you cannot come here to see a model inside the viewer. You want to see inside DCS. How you do that? Well, it's a little bit complicated, but easy at the same time. Complicated to find this stuff. As always, the documentation in DCS world is not very easy to everybody to achieve, so that is the reason I'm making this kind of videos. Bueno, pues lo que vosotros queréis más o menos es ver vuestro modelo dentro de DCS, no en el visor. Pero claro, esto es una cosa que es un poco complicada de hacer porque es que no hay casi documentación y para eso hago estos vídeos. The first thing you have to download is this one, Modding Wunderluft. Esto es lo primero que tenéis que bajar. And it will say here that is you can hear in the description, you can copy the description and match, but it's looking for this stuff, wunderluft.zip.dcs in Google or whatever, quack, buscando esto, y entonces aparece esto. Lo veis aquí y descargáis este archivo and download this file. That is very old. And in one of these models, you will find, I don't remember where it is right now, this one. You will find this zip and you download it, you unzip it and you install it. Where do you install? Well, you have to put in your save folders and in DCS in the mods outside of the main place where you have the DCS installed, because if not, it won't allow you to load by security reasons. Now they have. Lo tenéis que poner aquí en juegos guardados, no en el editor principal de DCS, porque si no os dará problemas por seguridad que tiene. Aircraft, and you unzip it here, okay? And you will have all these files. Tenéis todos estos archivos. Lo único que tenéis que hacer es, the only thing you need to do, it's for now to make it work, is this Kaka EDM, go to shapes and copy it here and substitute the name of Kaka by this one, okay? And then go to textures and put all the textures inside of here. And then go to the entry and modify it, the texture. With the textures, it will be different. It will be something like texture copied, and the shape is the same. And nothing more, okay? You save it, you load here, you load DCS World, and now you come and go to the mission editor. You create a new mission editor. Here you put a new plane. Here is the plane, United States. You choose here the 100, it will appear here, 104T. T is there for the tutorial, doesn't exist that model. And here it says initiate in ramp, iniciamos en rampa. Then player, and that is enough. Load it, it's not necessary. Will appear here, aparecerá aquí. No tenemos copy, and that is the reason. And here it is. As you can see, it's inside of DCS. The animation está dentro de DCS, la animación está en el punto medio, esto tengo que estudiarlo. At least I have to study this. Why is this reason of the animation is in the middle position? But it's a good start, isn't it? Well, I hope you enjoyed, espero que os haya gustado. I hope you learned something and it's more easy. It took a lot of time to research for this and I asked for the same when I asked for help, for people to help me also. También pido que la gente me ayude cuando haga esto y juntos podemos elevar y trabajar y mejorar este simulador. Muchas gracias, a lot of thank yous for everybody. Give a like, subscribe, darle a like, suscribiros, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you, see you, chao chao.